Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 96 of the Almost Dave with your host, Chandler. Dave is somewhere. Hopefully he can get here soon. But I've got a special guest today. We've got Morgan here with Box Media. I think his technical term is Certified Video Ninja Mastermind, but I'll let him talk to you guys about what it is and what he does and how this whole thing started.
Well, appreciate the intro. And basically this all started was, back in the day, I enjoyed doing video. I liked doing video. And recently in the last several years, kind of got back into editing and everything. And a couple years ago, my local CrossFit gym actually asked me to do a promotional video for them. And I had zero experience with CrossFit at that point. And, I was just trying to break back into the video world where I was trying to do it, not necessarily as a career, but kind of a part-time position. And it's grown from there. And since that time, I've been involved with CrossFit since then and just kind of continually improving my skills with both video with CrossFit and CrossFit in general. And then as of basically beginning of this year, I've had a video business that I've been running the last year and a half, 2 years or so. And I decided I need to be more concentrated in my kind of outlook on what I wanted to do. And since I've enjoyed the world of CrossFit, I figured that was going to be a good niche for me. And like I said, I enjoyed doing it. I feel like I'm pretty good at doing it on the video side. And so earlier this year, I started, like what you said, the Box Media. And that's where I'm helping kind of gyms both film themselves better and just help them use video better to kind of help promote themselves.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think this is one of the most important things to focus on right now in your marketing is video specifically. It's something that people want to watch. People don't necessarily want to read things anymore. They don't want to look at pictures. They want to watch a video. And sometimes they want to watch it without sound on. So I think the production quality is one of the most important things that you can put into your videos, or at least little techniques to make the video more engaging. And that's the other thing that's important is engagement. If you can engage people and captivate them in your video, then you've got something that's a winner. So talk to me a little bit about what do you think are some of the most important techniques for producing good videos and engaging videos?
Well, there's a ton of things that you can do right and wrong. And that's kind of my focus, is helping people do the right things. And, you don't have to have these big, expensive, elaborate camera setups with mics and all that good stuff. I mean, everybody has an iPhone, in their pocket. And, iPhone technology or Android technology has come a long way, and they do shoot really good quality videos. So if that's all you have, that's fine. Use your iPhone. But, there's a lot of little tips and tricks to using the iPhone correctly. I've actually made a video and posted on my Facebook page, which would be facebook.com/boxmedia.us. You can find that video there, but it's basically just tips and tricks on how to use your iPhone better. One of the things I talk about there is, a simple tripod. Just getting that shot stationary and stable is huge. Again, that doesn't take a lot of money. I bought, which I talk about in the video, but right here is a cell phone holder. It goes right onto a tripod, which the cell phone holder itself is maybe $8 off Amazon. You can get a $13 tripod off Amazon as well, or get a little bit higher quality one. But just stabilizing that shot is huge. It makes the video look a lot more professional. It doesn't annoy the viewer with all the shaking and everything. And those are simple fixes. Another simple fix for, again, shooting with your iPhone is right there. I know, Chandler, you do a pretty good job on having yourself mic'd up, because I think I saw a video the other day where you're like, look over here, you can hear me here, like you can hear me here, because I've got a 20-foot audio cable now. So,
it's true, a massive extension.
Exactly. And you sound so much better when you're mic'd up like that. You just put the mic on the chest and you can run it right into your iPhone typically. I mean, there are sometimes adapters needed and everything like that, but just a simple lapel mic. That one, for example, is a Movo that I think costs $14 on Amazon. Again, not expensive fixes, but you're going to sound way better. You're going to sound a lot higher quality. You're going to get rid of a lot of that gym echo if you guys are shooting in a gym, and it sounds a ton better. Another one of my tips was, your phone orientation. Depending on what media source, it kind of depends on which orientation you want. For example, on Facebook, I always shoot like this, the flat horizontal way. That's going to fit best on both screens that are, if I'm watching it like this, it's going to fit. If I'm watching it like this, it's going to fit. Now, if I film like this, for example, on Facebook, you're going to get those black lines, and it's going to, your shot's going to be small and look ugly. However, if I'm shooting an Instagram video, there's absolutely nothing wrong filming it like this. So it all just kind of depends on if you're doing it for like your website, your Twitter, your Instagram, Facebook. Kind of just depends on, know your platform and kind of have those best practices for each platform.
Yeah, that's a great idea. What do you think about the living in the mobile world about producing square videos on something like Facebook? So we have so many people who are just scrolling through and they're like this, and they don't want to go here because they don't want to turn the sound on. Have you ever talked about or considered the idea of the mobile world and keeping everything mobile friendly? Oh no. Well, we had a really good interview going on. We're looking at some technical difficulties, it looks like. So we're going to fix it and we'll be right back. Hello, Dave.
What's up?
Right as soon as Morgan blacked out, you came on.
Well, I figured I'd bring some entertainment to the party.
Yeah. We were just talking about, he gave us some great tips for producing videos in your marketing. And it was stuff that people overlook that's super simple. So it's the idea of a tripod, which I carry a tripod in my backpack with me everywhere. I tend to use that for videos I do for the gym and all that. If I do it for my ChansLogic, I just hold it in my face. And then talking about a solid lapel mic. So using something like a Rode Lab Plus or the mic he showed to basically get good audio and all your broadcasts and everything to make sure that people can actually hear you. Because if they can't hear you, they just tune out immediately.
That audio is probably the most important thing, which is why I'm hitting the button and increasing my audio right now. Here we go.
Yeah. You sound like you sucked in a bunch of helium.
How's that?
That's much better.
Oh yeah. So that was just showing you the difference between good audio and bad audio. We wanted to make sure listening knew the difference.
They did. They were like, huh, did he just like inhale a balloon full of helium?
It's been known to happen.
It's a good time. Oh, Morgan's back. Hey, Morgan.
So here's what I've got going on. There's a huge storm rolling through, and we just had a blackout. And so I don't know if you can see the color there, but that's
very nice.
That's kind of rolling through right now, and just lights went out, you went dark, and yeah. So now I'm streaming off the phone, and hopefully the lights will stay on for a few minutes. So anyway.
It's funny. Joe Morris commented that there's a storm rolling through your town right now.
Yeah, he's
aware.
What's even funnier is I'm on Joe's computer, so he's like 2 miles away from here right now. So yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I love it.
So let's go back in what you were talking about. I think you were going through the lapel mics, and we talked about tripods.
Yeah, you're starting with a question like, how do you produce something? That's when I lost.
Oh
you.
Yeah. So when we look at the mobile first world and we look at the videos we're producing, in your opinion, for something like Facebook, should we produce them this way, or should we keep them, or should we make them square? Or do you think it depends on the market of people who's actually watching our videos?
That's kind of a hard question. It kind of depends on if you're doing a Facebook Live, if you're doing like a edited piece that will be posted later. Like for example, most of my stuff I edit then post later. All that stuff will be horizontal. Now, like Joe, for example, he'll do a lot of Facebook Lives, and it's fine when you start like this, and it fits, it works. Facebook loves their Facebook Lives, so that's going to be pushed out, and so it just kind of depends which realm you're going in, and there's not I'd say the only wrong answer is if you're editing a piece, don't film it like this. That'd be my, I guess, expert opinion.
Oh, Champ, can't hear you, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you edit it like that, you lose the HD quality, right?
You're losing a lot of that. Then, like I said, you're getting those black bars on the sides, and it just doesn't. It looks unprofessional, and that's why I try to avoid anyway.
That's true. So what are some of your techniques for producing engaging videos in Facebook land and Instagram and in the world of not listening to videos with sound? You have 3 to 5 seconds to capture someone's attention. So what are some of your techniques for creating engagement and creating exciting videos, or at least videos that are at least put together in a way that people are going to want to watch it?
Well, really, like a big thing that I try to remember on, like when it comes to social shares and views and stuff, is emotion sells, not facts and figures. So yes, your gym might have like a 95% success rate on your 6-week challenge or something, but that's not going to make somebody want to watch a video. They're going to want to watch a video to hear about Miss, you know, girl that was 40 pounds overweight and now she's, you know, living a healthier lifestyle. She's, you know, emotional. It's, you know, something that ties that person's story to my story or the viewer's story, and, you know, really gets that emotional connection really. So that's what I try to make it, like, make it relatable, make it real, make it raw if you can even.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's huge, because I think we have to help people understand that the gym or the business that is producing the videos isn't the hero in the story. It's just a guide, and it's trying to guide people to the direction to where they get to be the hero or they get to be the champion of the story. And if you can showcase to them that maybe one other person or someone is similar to them and they're part of that story that they could be in, I think you put yourself in a better position than if you make it all about yourself and you're not as real and relatable.
Exactly. I mean, that goes right back to the story brand technique of, you know, like you said, not being the hero, being that guide, showing them that they can be the hero, they can do it as well. And, you know, that really connects then.
Exactly. And if you guys haven't read Story Brand, you're missing out. It's a great book.
Very good.
Wonderful book.
Yeah. And that's actually, like, I do a lot of testimonials for gyms, and, you know, I use the Story Brand, basically testimonial questions. Oh, well, can you still hear me?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. Oh, that was out again.
That was a fun show.
Here's a great example of how good quality audio is so important.
Yeah, we can still hear him. That's all that matters.
Look, here I am. I've got the phone light. At least you can see me, I guess.
That's right. So this actually brings in. I was just saying, this brings in humor, right? To making sure, like, if you're having fun and rolling with it and being, like you said, real, people like that.
Yep.
It's true. You just kind of roll with it. It's Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will, but you just roll with it and enjoy it.
Yeah. So I'll keep talking, and maybe the lights will eventually turn on. I mean, I'm nothing special to look at anyway. So, but yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. See, real, like I said, you connect with that emotion.
That's right.
That's right.
So very good. Yeah, like when I'm editing a piece, like a high quality piece that, you know, maybe I'm doing like a testimonial or a promo for a gym or something, you know, I'm trying to, you know, make it interesting to the viewer. I don't want you to look at that box owner's face for 5 minutes while he tells you every little thing about his gym. That's great. But again, he's probably not the most attractive either. So that's where I try to use a lot of like B-roll type footage, which if you're not understanding what B-roll, that's basically like you've got your primary shot would be like what we're looking at of you two. Like if you guys were talking, there we go.
That's a good primary shot.
Yeah, that's right.
Good. Perfect shot. So like, you know, maybe have that gym owner or that testimonial person, you know, telling their story, but then cut to different angles of them talking about their journey, or, you know, show them working out, or just like I said, making it more interesting, telling that story. Don't make it just a straight, you know, NBC type interview.
So we want to make sure that we do some side stuff while we're talking and moving. We want to do some front stuff. We want to see the mic.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that's making it more interesting already. Yeah, I mean, when I set up a testimonial shoot, I typically have 2 angles, and I'll have like a front shot like you guys are looking at right now of yourselves, and then about a 45-degree angle where it's kind of, you know, you're showing more part of the gym, the rig, maybe in the background, boxes, wall balls, whatever. And, you know, just switching back and forth to those angles, you're making it more entertaining to watch.
Right. That's true.
It also, it helps as an editor. You can like hide your cuts that way too. For example, if a lot of people don't know exactly what they want to say, so they'll say, and then, you know, like you constantly stutter, and that's normal. I do it as well. But as an editor, when I've got those 2 angles, I can cut those out, switch angles, and it looks like they never missed a beat. So again, you're producing that high quality piece of footage, piece of content that looks, you know, exceptionally professional, and, you know, is going to be entertaining and not annoy the viewer with the ands, buts, then, you know, it's constant.
Yeah. Which is great, because then the viewers, if they start to get bored, as soon as the camera switches, they're like, oh, I'm entertained again. Let's keep talking about this.
Yeah.
And you just continuously grab that attention, which is important because you lose people about every 15 seconds.
Exactly. And just, watch TV tonight and see, like on a sitcom, see how many times they're changing angles. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's
and
good.
I think there's another technique. I don't know what you think about this. It's going above people and below people. And you tend to see like below people makes them seem more powerful. Above shows them a little more weaker. Have you ever used some of those techniques in your production?
Not extensively, but no, I do understand what you're talking about. I typically like to go about eye level, which kind of like what you guys are seeing right now with yourselves. I feel that's kind of the most non-threatening, I guess, viewpoint. Because like you said, if you're shooting below, sometimes you're going to have a little bit of an unflattering view of your subject. And a lot of times, to get somebody to do a testimonial for you is a big step, big uncomfortable step for them.
You don't want to show the gullet.
Exactly. And so if you're showing off the double chin, they're not going to be super pumped. And, they're not going to be sharing it with their friends and so forth and so forth. And so like,
we had to fix that, right? So at my gym, if everybody has to do content, they're always making mistakes. Everyone looks for a place to put their equipment. And if you're not pre-set up for it, it always ends up underneath somebody's face, right? They'll put it down on a box, down on a desk, right? So it just happens by default. So we got a real cheap tripod, and we clipped on a cheap iPhone holder, and that way people can adjust this, make sure it's always at eye level, no matter what, no matter how tall they are. So being prepared is super important.
Yeah, no, see, before you hopped on, that's exactly, I showed them a cheap iPhone holder just like that. And, you can get a cheap tripod for anywhere from $13 to $100, whatever you want to spend. So, yeah, just things like that are huge in the professional quality of your video content. But yet a lot of people the way I talk to gym owners is you guys know how to do a snatch. I don't really know how to do that. I know how to do video. Let me tell you what to do, and then you tell me how to snatch, if that makes sense.
Yeah, which totally makes sense. Let the expert do the expert things, leverage your strengths, and then everybody wins in the end, and everything looks like sunshine and gumdrops, and that's the goal.
Exactly. We love sunshine and gumdrops.
That's right. It's exciting.
So, Chan, I'm colorblind, so sunshine, gumdrops, it's all the same color to me.
Yeah. And I was doing some interviews, and I was making people explain the color yellow to me if I couldn't see, which was always exciting. So you hear, like, what is sunshine and gumdrops if I couldn't see color?
That's right.
If I
describe it as the green light. They all look the same to me.
Is that what you tell the officer?
Yeah. So, what's funny is when you travel outside of New England, I think it was like maybe more down south, they get some horizontal stoplights. Well, that's like out. I have no idea what's going on when they see that stuff.
Wait, you're telling me you're from New England?
No, you can't tell, right? Come on.
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Is it all the championship rings that? Is that how you can tell?
I'm not hating on that. I'm just making fun. But yeah, but I really enjoy video. I really enjoy the CrossFit world, and that's where kind of like two of my passions have kind of been smashed together with this Box Media, and like I'm trying to do the kind of the helpful tips and tricks that I've been kind of sharing on my Facebook and my Instagram, where it's just short 1 minute, 2 minute videos of, hey, doesn't this look pretty good? Well, guess what? This is shot entirely on an iPhone. You can do this too.
Exactly.
So it's important that you guys can film yourself better. And then if we can take that next step where you need help with the editing, that's where we can, get onto my website, upload the footage, then I take all that time consuming editing out of your guys' hands or the gym owner's hands so they can, level up, go to the more important things. Don't worry about editing a 30-second video for 3 hours. Let me do that. Let me, help you and get that done. Let me help you use that as a piece of content where that is hopefully making you money, you getting yourself new clients, just making you guys look like the expert.
That's very cool. What a great service.
I think Joe has a great question. He wants you to talk about the rule of thirds.
Now, Joe, why would you want to know about the rule of thirds? You already know about this. See, like me and a lot of his content, you know, like he puts out a lot of videos, a lot of pictures and stuff. And I will try to give him an attaboy, but then I always try to correct something that I see that's wrong. And the most recent thing, I mean, he's done a fantastic job from say like a year ago to his stuff now. Like he's a great student. Like he listens and he like put into practice what I tell him. And the most recent piece of information I gave him, it was the rule of thirds. So for example, if you would think of your widescreen TV or whatever and cut that into 3 pieces. So you like got a left third, a center third, and a middle third, left, center, and right. Well, basically like right in the middle. Well, are you guys fans of The Office? Like the Office TV show? Okay.
I wasn't until I saw every show over the last month.
Perfect. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When they're sitting in the conference room doing like the talk to camera instances, they'll be slightly to the left or slightly to the right. Well, basically, they are sitting where those intersections of those third lines meet. And basically, to summarize it, it just makes it a little bit more pleasing. It's just one of those like cinematography rules, I guess you'd say. So if you watch Joe's last couple of videos, like not Facebook Lives or whatever, but where he's sitting there talking about a certain member or whatever, he's actually putting that into practice. And I told him it looked really good. And I think the last one, I didn't have any complaints at all. So he's getting better.
That's a good student right there.
There you go. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's a certified grade A champion.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. But we can give him some good praise too, because he took the social media stuff and he knocks it out of the park. So he does a great job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're champions. So this is great stuff. I wanted to ask one more question. I tend to like to do videos where I'm walking through the gym talking and making scripts and stuff like that and making people do crazy things.
Yep.
Have you ever, what do you think if someone wanted to produce something like that easily and not have like a rolling camera and all kinds of crazy stuff equipped, how do you think someone could produce something like that? Like, hey, welcome to the gym. And they walk through and do a tour of it. And it ends up being a 3-minute video, but it takes probably 17 hours to create.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily think you need to make it into a 17-hour process. Again, I'm going to use Joe as an example. He just recently moved to a new gym across town, and he kind of took a walking tour of it. And I think I even called him like, hey, what did you use to do that? Like, because it almost looked like it was stabilized, and he did a really good job on it. But if again, you're being real, you're being raw, all he wanting to do was show off the new gym. I don't know if it was a Facebook Live necessarily, but I think he did a really good job. He just kind of talked and walked, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, like for example, Chandler, if you're wanting to just walk around the gym and, ask funny questions, be funny, be humorous, that's a good piece of entertainment. Everything doesn't have to sell something. Now, if you're wanting to like sell new clients on your gym, I think you go back to the tripod policy where it's stabilized and you go into that route. So I don't know if that was a great answer to your question, but
yeah, that actually brought up a good point. The videos you produce for your clients versus the videos you produce for the public are maybe 2 different segues. One's a little more produced and one's maybe a little more humorous and fun, so they enjoy it. Or maybe you have a segue in the middle. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the stuff that you're trying to, like sell your services, sell your gym, sell yourself, help make yourself the expert. Everybody's in the basement now because of the storm, so my daughter's coming in and out. But
it's perfect.
Anyway.
It's perfect.
So anyway, the stuff that you're trying to sell, like you're as an expert, your gym, all that, I think that's a good idea to have a high quality piece, highly produced piece. The stuff where you're just being like, hey guys, look at our new rower we got. I don't think you need to pay me, a couple $100 to edit something for you or nothing like that. I think, it all depends on what you're trying to accomplish with that certain piece.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you have your different goals, your different ideas. And for me, I think it's a great idea to blend the humor in with the gym, in with the members for your marketable pieces out to the public, because they really enjoy it. It makes it more engaging. And the more fun it is, the more they feel like you're not going to be a guy with a nipple tank throwing barbells against the wall, which is scary.
What's wrong with that?
Wait a minute. There's nothing wrong with nipple tanks.
Dave wears nipple tanks.
It's because those are the ones you buy for me.
Yeah. And he has to tape his nipples up because it chafes too much because the nipple tank hangs off the nipple.
They're pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I think a good point to make is, you can have highly produced video for like just your advertisement to drive leads. But ultimately, when you're pushing out regular content, you're trying to get like just potential clients feeling like they're part of the story, and that they see themselves, at your facility, in your classes, in your community, and they can kind of relate to it. So having that real footage of what's just going on in your gym is super important.
Absolutely.
Damn.
So I think this was a great show. If you guys have any more questions about video, post them in the comments. We'll add Morgan into our Facebook group as well, so everybody can talk in there and ask questions. Joe was a great listener today, had a bunch of good questions. If you guys have questions and you're listening to the podcast, just shoot us an email, hello@ootcmedia.com, and we'll take care of you. This has been fun. We had a blackout over there, so the people who watched the video saw the black face, the black screen. The people who listen to it won't even know. They'll just hear us talking about it. Oh, look, there he is. All right, we'll see you guys later.
All right, Morgan, great job.
Yep. If you guys want to see Morgan, go to boxmedia.us and you can start the video process and start working with him. All right. See ya.